Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there's rain coming to a lot of these snowed out communities. So that's going to be a problem this week with flooding, because we know when we get a lot of rain on top of piles and piles of snow, it'll melt, it'll turn to slush, ice, things like that. So that's what's expected, because yes, a big atmospheric river is coming right to the heart of California. Right now, as we look at our skies, you'll notice that big bright light yet again. So the full moon is at in 1 minute, we'll be at its fullest peak, at the fullest point, I should say, 100% full here this morning. It's also known as the worm moon. Apparently, this is when a lot of the earthworms come out of the soil and say hello. So there you go, the worm moon in full effect here. Our sunrise will be at 6:09 this morning. We'll keep an eye on this big bright light across our skies. Obviously, you do see some cloud coverage, kind of covering it there. Higher levels, I would call it mid-level cloud coverage. We do have morning clouds in your forecast today, this afternoon, getting close to about 60 degrees, fairly similar to yesterday. Onshore flow does increase, so that west to east wind cooling us down from the coast. That'll last through about Thursday. And then this is what we're watching for, an atmospheric river coming to California by the end of the week, Thursday into Friday. For us right now, all we're noticing right here would be this swath of clouds, if you will. And there's still snow in the Tahoe region. This is that low we talked about from over the weekend that has not moved away. So they're still getting more of that moisture. It is just a very stubborn system. 53 degrees for us in San Diego. Obviously, we're not impacted by that. We may get impacted by that atmospheric river not until late Friday night into Saturday morning, and it won't be as strong once it gets to Southern California, or I should say San Diego. Parts of Southern California will be certainly dumped on from the rain. 44 right now in Poway, 47 in El Cajon. They got 53 downtown. You're at 49 degrees in Chula Vista, 46 in Jamul. That 24-hour temperature change shows what clouds do to us. They warm us up a little bit compared to yesterday. Now, looking at your afternoon, 60 National City, 59 La Mesa, 62 in Santee and El Cajon. Let's take you up to North County, 57 in Encinitas, 59 in Fallbrook. So that's today's forecast. We'll talk more about what we can expect throughout this week here in just a few minutes.
Most of our planet is water, so we got to make sure we're doing our best to protect it, right?
Yeah,
And what's underneath.
Over 70%.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes up a big part of why we survive. Let's look at this. The moon impacting our water too, in the form of bringing in high tide and low tide. So here we have it, the full moon, as we mentioned. I was looking for other cameras to give you a nice shot of this, but this one beats all. This is the brightest view that we have on all of those mountain cameras. San Miguel looking out towards the west. Doesn't really ever fail us. I love this view. Looking across the South Bay, as you'll see, some medium clouds kind of stretching out the light of the moon this morning. And yeah, full at 4:40 a.m., so about 11 minutes ago. Considered the worm moon, that's what it's called. And you'll notice sunrise time will be at 6:09, 1 minute before yesterday. So each day a minute earlier until Sunday, 2 a.m., we spring forward so that everything changes. Our life kind of gets disrupted a little, but in the afternoons, at least you'll have longer before the sun sets. So you may enjoy that, some time outside. Here's a look at the clouds that are coming through San Diego this morning. Not expecting much drizzle out of that. It's our typical marine layer onshore weather pattern. We'll notice some west to east winds, and then of course still the snow up in Northern California. Unfortunately, they are not getting a break. 44 degrees for us in Poway. We have a nice break this week. A little mild weather to talk about for today, tomorrow, again Thursday. A lot of people heading out to the beaches. We saw plenty of surfers from PB to Del Mar, 2 to 4 foot, even 5 footers. A heads up, that view in Ocean Beach, the waves are hitting right below the pier. So this morning, right around that high tide time, closer to 8, 9 o'clock, you'll notice just a lot more water taking over our beaches. Low tide, a pretty good time to go for that walk. Usually at 3:15 this afternoon, it'll be way low, down to -0.3. So you may see some rocks peeking through. Might be fun for tide pooling, just something to keep in mind for today. Playground forecast, if you have little ones, upper 40s this morning. You'll want to obviously have a jacket on them, and then upper 50s by the middle of the day. So still overall, we're about 5 degrees below normal in the mid to upper 50s. Some of you about 10 degrees below normal. Mid 60s would be typical for us. We're not quite there yet. That warm up has not arrived. 60 downtown, 59 Miramar today, 57 in Poway. And looking at our skies, we will get some sunshine this afternoon. You see the clouds clearing before our next round of marine layer clouds clouds come on back. So that's Wednesday. Looking long term though, by Friday, Saturday, that's when we could see that next round of rain from that bigger atmospheric river. Central California will get the bulk of that moisture. We will get the very tail end, and so it could bring us a quarter inch perhaps. The timing and the amount still hard to really gauge with these atmospheric rivers. They could move a little north, a little south, and it changes everything. And then of course, don't forget, springing forward on Sunday, 2 in the morning, because you can kind of see the light getting stretched by these mid-level clouds that we have. So I was checking out a few of the other mountain cameras. This one, Los Pinos, this is also a west-facing view. If you look out west towards our coastline, you will see that big bright light right there. Our full moon, considered a warm moon this time of year, as we've been talking about. So it'll set right around that sunrise time. As the sun comes up, though, we may not get the fullest view of the sunrise. We'll keep an eye on it, though. Sometimes mid and high-level clouds create beautiful colors. So, of course, our cameras are in full effect. We will be watching that and bringing it to you live right here on the air. 6:09 will be our sunrise. Remember, when we spring forward, yeah, it's going to be strange. Our sunrise won't be until 7:09. So yeah, that'll be a different adjustment we'll have to make here. Looking at our clouds right now in satellite imagery, you'll notice obviously no green on the screen, not for San Diego. Don't expect any kind of drizzle today unless it's just that very light stuff coming in with the marine layer. To the north, still snow. Since this weekend, they've been getting a lot of snow, over 2 to 3 feet in some of these ski resorts right by Tahoe, and it has not let up. A very stubborn area of low pressure over northern California. 51 degrees for us here for downtown San Diego with a few of those clouds coming through. We will get the sun today. Don't worry, it won't stay cloudy all day. 43 in Poway, 46 in El Cajon right now, 46 La Mesa. You're at 48 in Chula Vista. And then compared to 24 hours ago, hey, you have the clouds to thank for a little bit of warmer weather this morning, 2 to 4 degrees warmer. We have that blanket over us. Over the next 12 hours, here's how your Tuesday is shaping up. We'll start to clear around 11, 12 o'clock, upper 50s, close to 60 degrees for some inland areas. So that's today. We'll take a look now coming up here in just a few minutes at the next round of rain we're watching for to come towards California, how that'll impact the piles of snow that we've seen in our mountain communities. Eric. Systems, it's tropical moisture, so not the type of storm that we saw last week where it was colder air coming down from the Gulf of Alaska. There is a trough that's tapping into the atmospheric river, which forms further south, closer to the equator, so it's a lot warmer. We'll show what's going on here in just a moment. Let's take you now to our weather maps, and you can see what's going on across our skies. As you look at the views from Mount Soledad, beautiful. I mean, we have mid to high level clouds, so it's not messing with your views. We don't have fog in the way this morning, but it will be a little bit grayer to start off. Afternoon temperatures, as you see, near 60 degrees for us. Onshore flow, west to east breeze. That's what we're feeling here through Thursday. Then that atmospheric river heads to California, and that's when we're going to be watching for that chance of rain. Here locally, we don't expect to see too much, a quarter to maybe a half inch. It all depends on where the river lines up and down our state. Central California right now expected to get the brunt of that rain. So of course the San Bernardino Mountains. 46 degrees for your current temperatures in El Cajon, 46 in La Mesa, 48 Chula Vista. Downtown San Diego, you're at 51. And hey, if you want to go surfing, I miss it. I wish I could. 2 to 4 footers with the potential of 5. Rip current risk moderate. A high tide will be at 8:43 this morning, up to 5.2 feet. Low tide around 3:15 this afternoon. Could be a decent time to check out those tide pools. A lot of rocks get exposed during the pull of the full moon, which we have certainly seen. For those of you who hang out with the little ones throughout the day, or even have a daycare perhaps, upper 50s for the middle of the afternoon today with those clouds coming through, but sunshine expected later on this afternoon. Hiking forecast a little cooler than yesterday in the mid to upper 50s, but most of you will hover right around 59, 60 degrees. That's kind of all we're going to get to today. Very consistent with the past several days, so nothing too major. A real quick check here of the bigger picture. You'll notice this low. That's what I was talking about. It's going to tap into this right here. So there's that river. You literally can see all of that moisture in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and that's what will dump a ton of rain onto Central California. Here's how it breaks down for us. Coast and inland, a quarter to a half. Mountains may get a half inch. We're not talking snow. Snow levels will be as high as 8,000 feet. So that goes to show how warm of a system this one now is. It does open the window for for more of these to likely get here by the middle of March. You'll see more raindrops here in our next several days. But Friday into Saturday is when we could get it. Another round maybe next week on Tuesday. Hey, Eric, I'll send it back to you.
History, culture, and society.
And this morning we want to introduce you to a woman who changed the way that people prepare for and respond to earthquakes. CBS's Danya Backus has her story.
5:30 now on this Tuesday. Glad you're with us. I'm Eric Connor.
And I'm Neda I. So spring break coming up for so many families here in March for San Diegans. And this morning the State Department issuing a travel advisory for people who may be wanting to go to Mexico.
Yeah, this after 4 Americans were kidnapped across the border. In fact, this is some new video showing the exact moment people were being loaded into the back of a white pickup truck at gunpoint. Now, we don't definitively know if these are the 4 Americans that were kidnapped. The FBI would not confirm the authenticity of this video, but it does match what the FBI says happened to these Americans.
Right, people taken out of a minivan. They were crossing into Mexico. It all happened in the eastern border town of Matamoros. So if you're not familiar, it's East Texas, right south of Brownsville. So that's, of course, far from San Diego. But CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol joining us live in San Ysidro now with the latest on these kids yet. Our San Diego CAL FIRE crews, they're out there helping, bringing diapers. I mean, think about it. For a lot of families who've been stuck, they can't get to a store, especially in places like Crestline, the only grocery store, the roof came down there. So they need these supplies, frozen pizzas. That's what they've been, a lot of them, living off of over the past several days. As we look across here in San Diego, obviously we can be grateful for a lot of things living in this beautiful city. And of course, mild weather, a big contributing reason why people love it here. We do have pretty mild conditions for the next several days here. So we're looking at mid-level clouds. Our sunrise will be at 6:09. It looks like the moon is setting. We'll get to see that now that we're starting to get a little bit more of that daylight. So here we go, our satellite imagery showing just cloudy skies to start. This will all eventually clear away and move further south. There is still this area of low pressure, unfortunately, bringing in more of this cold winter weather for the Tahoe region, for these mountains up in Northern California. So they're still getting more and more on top of the several feet. 7 to 8 feet is what they got in a week on top of 41 feet that they've had this season. 37 degrees right now in Ramona, 42 in Alpine, 46 in El Cajon. This afternoon, 59 in Imperial Beach here at home, 59 in Chula Vista, 60 National City. Very similar conditions to what we had yesterday. Maybe 1 degree cooler, but probably not noticeable change here. And this afternoon should be sunny. I know we're starting off with a little gray conditions, but overall that sun by about 11, 12 o'clock should peak its head out. So here's a look at our traffic condition with a bird, giant bird. That's a big rescue right there. So impressive they were able to do and kind of hopefully guide it back to the coastline. Come on to San Diego, Pelican. This is where the weather is a little more cooperative. I was looking at this view, Otay Mountain towards the west moments ago. The moon was right there, but I do think it's now underneath the clouds as it's setting. Our sunrise will be happening here in about 20 minutes, 6:09 this morning. And yeah, overall, there's a little gray start to the day, but it will clear. We'll get the sun on this Tuesday afternoon. So hopefully you're looking forward to seeing that sunshine. We'll have that on a repeat for Wednesday, even into Thursday, before we watch for an atmospheric river. So yeah, there's another big rainmaker coming to San Diego and coming to our state mostly. We'll get the tail end as we typically do. 48 degrees in Del Mar right now, 51 downtown. You're at 47 degrees for Chula Vista, 46 in Jamul, 46 in El Cajon, 38 in Ramona. A little cool there, but overall we are slightly warmer because of the cloud coverage, as you know. That typically keeps things warm, keeps our temperatures from dropping too low overnight. Now here's where we're going. As we get that clearing by around 11 a.m. or so, we'll start to see temperatures go into close to 60, very close, upper 50s for today. Very similar to what we just had, 57 in Poway, 59 in Miramar. We've seen this consistent pattern here over the last few days. I would say since about Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we've been right around the upper 50s, 60-degree mark. Here's a check of our cloud forecast. Now, you'll notice here by this afternoon, clearing will be happening. Clouds roll back in later tonight. And then let me show you the bigger picture. This area of low pressure still bringing snow to Northern California. That'll move, but then right behind it, there's another one. And all of this green that you see, that's that atmospheric river that's forming further further south, closer to the equator, tropical moisture, it's warmer. So unfortunately, snow levels will be as high as 8,000 feet. Everything below that, rain on top of all that snow. For us in San Diego, we'll get the very minimum there, the tail end, a quarter to a half inch is possible for our coast and inland areas. You'll notice here in the 8-day, Friday into Saturday morning is when this might bring us that rain. Then we should clear for Sunday, which of course is the day we spring forward. 2 in the morning becomes 3 in the morning. Eric? And also, coming up at 6, remembering one of San Diego's most decorated military heroes, the CBS 8 archive footage his family has never seen before.
Also at 6, not the free samples you'd expect to find at a Costco. What the stars of Breaking Bad were doing at a San Diego store.
You and wanted to look into advice from the State Department if you still decide to travel to Mexico. We know a lot of people here in San Diego frequently go to Mexico. So the State Department suggesting that you keep traveling companions and family back home informed of your travel plans. Of course, let them know. Also, use toll roads and don't drive alone or at night. Don't display signs of wealth, and enroll in the State Department's Smart Traveler Enrollment Program so you can get any alerts on any changes to their travel advisories, for example. It also makes it easier to find you in case of an emergency.
This morning,
people, obviously, when they called in, hear their passion behind it because those bills are tough. Lately, hopefully you've had a chance to give your heater a break. We haven't had these really cold overnight conditions like what we saw last week, for example. No frost advisories this week, at least. Our view from the Hotel Del looked really pretty. A few clouds are entering our scene this morning. Otay Mountain East, I was hoping to show you that sunrise here because officially it is now upon us. And now we are at 6:09 in the morning. But obviously the clouds are in the way, a little mix of mid-level clouds coming through across San Diego this morning, but we will see the sun this afternoon. It'll be a pretty nice day, getting close to 60 degrees, so that may be, you know, long sleeve shirt kind of day for if you're getting the kids ready for school. And overall to the north, there's still snow coming in, believe it or not. This is still that storm system from this weekend, bringing again more snow onto those Tahoe ski resorts and areas that have already seen 41, 42 feet of snow. 43 degrees right now in Poway, 45 in El Cajon, 46 in La Mesa. I will say here locally, we have really nice kind of calm conditions for the next few days. Hopefully that's a good sign for you. Upper 50s with the sunny skies for your afternoon, as you see here over the next 12 hours. This is where we're headed. Close to 60 for a lot of you. 59 in Miramar, 59 in La Mesa, 59 in Chula Vista. Escondido, same with Vista and Fallbrook, also 59. Pretty consistent number as you see. But yeah, we are watching an atmospheric river that's coming towards California. So we'll time that out here in just a few minutes. Let you know, San Diegans connect with nature now for 50 years. And it all started with a canyon trail in Balboa Park. CBS 8's chief meteorologist Carlene Chavis takes us there. Our skies, you'll notice it's a little overcast. Some of you are getting some clearing, some sunshine. This is just a beautiful shot right there of Mission Bay. Nice and calm conditions. Not even a ripple in the water. Here's our view from Otay Mountain looking out east. I keep waiting to see the sun coming through all of this, but not yet. Our sunrise was at 6:09, a minute earlier than yesterday. Keep in mind, starting next week, we will start to see the sunrise at 7, after 7 o'clock, because we are springing forward. So that daylight will come a little bit later, but hey, it allows the kids to play a little bit later in the afternoons. Our view from Mount Soledad also showing beautiful conditions here. You'll notice Tijuana right there. Those are the hills, of course, downtown. Mission Bay as well. Your weather headlines today: morning clouds, afternoon temperatures reaching near 60 degrees. Onshore flow will continue. That's our coastal breeze that we get through about Thursday. Then we're watching for this atmospheric river, so it's heading to California. Central California will likely get the brunt of this. Unfortunately, that means a lot of rain on top of the snow, which could then lead to flooding. So this is a big concern now for Thursday. For us in San Diego, we'll likely get the effects of that come Friday into Saturday. I'll show you that in a moment. For now, 47 Del Mar, 42 in Poway. You're waking up to 45 degrees in El Cajon. If you're headed out to the beach, maybe catch a few waves there. 2 to 4 footers. Catch them for me. I miss being able to do such a thing. Rip current risk is moderate and water temperature about 56 degrees. You'll notice high tide is pretty high around 8:45 this morning. Low tide will be way low around 3:15 because this morning we had that full moon. Yeah, the full worm moon, as it's called, peaking early this morning, affecting our coastal tides. Your playground forecast today, it'll start off chilly, upper 50s for the middle of the day. If you'd rather go hiking, mid to upper 50s, and sunny skies after about noon today. Around 60 degrees will be our overall high for this afternoon. So no major changes, as you'll notice. And then what we're going to see through Thursday, gradual warm up. And then this Friday into Saturday would be when that next round of rain could come. For San Diego, a quarter to a half inch of rain possible. A really warm tropical system. It's an atmospheric river coming from the south near the equator. And then we spring forward, of course. 2 a.m. becomes 3 a.m. on Sunday. Here's a quick check of traffic, and I do want to show you one incident that I just saw pop up right here. This is a crash that just showed up on the 94. Actually, I apologize. Fire department activity, not a crash. So that's on the 94 eastbound at Euclid Avenue, and it's also slowing right there on the 805 northbound. But something to keep in mind if you do see firefighters, try to avoid obviously getting in the way. Eric. Slowly making progress in the mountains. This is east of Los Angeles. Many snowed-in residents, they're running low on food and supplies they need. Officials in San Bernardino County say they've cleared hundreds of miles of roads, but it could still take several more days to reach some of those neighborhoods. In fact, we want to show you what happened also this morning. A family that was stuck in the snow in Crestline got some much-needed diapers and baby food. This is all thanks to CAL FIRE San Diego. Our local crews are out there trudging through the snow, trying to help these families. Firefighters had to hike 3/4 of a mile to make that delivery. So rain on top of the several feet of snow. This low, it's a colder one that came from the north. This next low, though, will tap into subtropical moisture. So you can literally see what looks like a river in these upper levels of the atmosphere, all this moisture. And unfortunately, by Thursday, here's Central California, Northern California, getting all of that rain dumped on them, where the ground, as we know, is very saturated. And then these areas where we've seen some 42 feet of snow this winter, well, the rain will come pounding down on top of that. So that's why there's that huge concern for snow melt. For us in San Diego, we're, of course, on the southern end of our state, so this atmospheric river does not look like it'll be as strong when it impacts us. What we will likely see, a quarter to a half inch of rain here, and the mountains could get a half to maybe 1 1/4 inch of rain. The deserts, barely a drop. So Friday night into Saturday morning, that's when we're expecting this to impact San Diego. But prior to that, Thursday, to the north of us, the San Bernardino mountain area could see some pretty big, significant impacts from it. Next week, there'll be another line of wet weather coming our way. So I'll show you that in the 8-day. 51 degrees right now. You're waking up to that in downtown San Diego. 45 in El Cajon, 45 La Mesa. We are a little bit warmer than yesterday, in part because of the clouds that you're seeing that are out there. Your afternoon highs, as you see, a lot of upper 50s, near 60 degrees for most of San Diego here. And then checking out your 8-day, you'll notice Friday, Saturday, we have those raindrops. We spring forward Sunday at 2 a.m. And then that next round of rain is next week. Still kind of early to gauge the timing of that next, yet another atmospheric river. Let's show you what's going on with, hey, you're going to like our weather. Upper 50s, around 60 degrees for today. We are going to see things start to change a little bit by the end of the week. Until then, though, a gradual warming. And then here we go, another storm system. This rainmaker coming right for California, unfortunately, on Thursday. For us in San Diego, we'll get the very end of it right there. So we may get a quarter to a half inch of rain from it. That's not it, though. Next week, we're looking at another atmospheric river. March will be a fairly wet month, it looks like, as a few systems are coming. Eric?
All right, Governor.
Men are in custody after Border Patrol agents say they entered the country illegally. Lifeguards in Ocean Beach, you see there, giving them those warmers. They're kind of like tarps to keep people warm after they've been in the water for some time. Lifeguards in OB got the report of people in water needing help just before 6 yesterday morning. It means a lot of that snow that's been piling will get dumped on by the next atmospheric river. So then that will lead to flooding. So a lot of issues in our mountain communities, unfortunately. As we look across our bay at this hour, obviously we can be grateful for a lot of things here in San Diego. We have pretty calm conditions here, just a little bit of marine layer cloud coverage, some mid-level clouds as well hanging out with us this morning, but we will see more of that sunshine later. It's 52 degrees if you are downtown San Diego today. Winds are very calm, and your conditions are going to be very similar to yesterday. We'll get the sun this afternoon, 46 degrees right now in El Cajon, 45 La Mesa, 47 in Chula Vista, and you'll notice that 24-hour temperature change, 1 to 3 degrees warmer here. So we have a little warming because of that layer of clouds that we got through overnight. It still did not block the moon, that full moon this morning, big and bright light for us. If you're headed out to the beaches, just know the full moon obviously impacts our tides, wave heights 2 to even 5 feet, but high tide around 8:43 this morning will be up to 5.2 feet. So it'll take over a lot of the beach as the pole of the moon obviously impacts the high tide, and then it goes way low during low tide time. So around 3:15 this afternoon, down to negative 0.3 feet. You could go tide pooling. Maybe some of those rocks will be exposed and you can check out, see an enemy, the crabs, our little ocean friends. Let's look at our afternoon highs today with the sun. 59 degrees for Coronado, 59 in Chula Vista, Imperial Beach at 59. We're looking at a lot of upper 50s as you see across the map here. North County, the South Bay, East County also right around 57 to 59 degrees. In the mountains, it's warming up to 48 in Julian, 50 in Mount Laguna. Look at that, the deserts near 70 for Ocotillo Wells. So there's still a low hovering over Northern California. They're still getting snowed on in those mountain towns up near Tahoe. But then there's another low. So this coming in from the north, typically the ones from the north are cold, but it's going to clash with this atmospheric river, which has formed further south, closer to the equator. They're known as pineapple expresses because a lot of times they form near Hawaii. So that's where they get that term. But look at all of the moisture that you see in the levels, higher levels of the atmosphere. This all will dump rain on central and northern California, and it's a warm system. This tropical atmospheric river certainly will bring snow levels way up. So you're going to see snow about 8,000 feet. Everything below that turning to rain. So imagine the 40 feet, I should say, of snow that we've received this winter, all getting rained on, and what that could lead to. For us in San Diego, we get the very tail end, a quarter to a half inch of rain expected for us in the coast and inland communities. That'll likely get here Friday into Saturday. We spring forward on Sunday at 2 a.m. becomes 3 a.m. Then another atmospheric river looking ahead next week around Tuesday. That's when another rainmaker is headed our way. Let's get, we had a little bit of activity earlier on places like the 805 where it was kind of slow going. Now for now, there was a crash on the 15 southbound. That also cleared, but look at how slow it is. If you're going on the 15 coming out of Escondido there, it's going to be pretty slow. The 15, there was a lane blocked as well because of a stalled car. That's at West Country Club Lane. And now, look at that. Looks like waves up in our skies. That's pretty impressive. A little clearing as well, so a mix of sun and clouds this morning. Let's show you another view as well of our Mount Soledad camera looking towards downtown. So some of you may have a little bit of cloud coverage, but that's all we're dealing with today. Another fairly mild day in the weather department. Low 50s for downtown San Diego. Some of you inland, a little cooler. 43 in Poway to start off. 46 in El Cajon. You're at 39 in Ramona. But we are still warmer than yesterday at this time. Your afternoon highs close to about 60 degrees today, 59 in Miramar, same with La Mesa and Chula Vista. And we're watching for the next rainmaker coming right towards California. Yeah, this right here, an atmospheric river, that's going to dump a lot of rain into central California. For us in San Diego, we tend to get the tail end of these, not expecting too much rain, and it'll likely arrive Friday compared to the normal routine. Glad that the family is okay.
Absolutely.
That was super important. Thank you, Chris Groh, for the latest there. We also have some more breaking news to let you know about. We just learned 2 of the 4 Americans who were kidnapped in Mexico. Sadly, they were found dead. The other 2 found alive.
This is not the update we were hoping for here today. These kidnappings happened in the eastern border town of Matamoros, and it's near Texas. And CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol joining us live from San Ysidro now with this really heartbreaking update here.
Connect with nature for 50 years. It all started with the Canyon Trail in Balboa Park. CBS 8's chief meteorologist Carlene Chavis takes us there. conditions probably, but as we watch across our skies right now, it's pretty mild. All we have to speak of here, mid-level clouds, a little marine layer, that's what that layer is, and so you can see that kind of sweeping across San Diego this morning, very similar to the mild weather pattern that we had yesterday. So let's show you what's going on across. This is our San Miguel view towards the west. There's that marine layer right there. You can kind of see that layer, but it's not obviously impacting us in any form. We just have a few higher wispy clouds as well. And you can see that all sweeping away over our satellite imagery. Looking to the north, we will get some clearing here soon. So a lot of the sunshine will be all across San Diego any moment now. Any moisture that we're noticing in California is way up north still. Snow still coming down on these areas. You just feel for a lot of people who are stuck in the Sierra Nevada mountain range around Lake Tahoe. I mean, they've had so many feet of snow, and unfortunately rain is coming. So we have a warm atmospheric river that's headed to California. I'll tell you that in a moment. Right now, 52 degrees. Enjoy what we have right now. 47 in Del Mar, 45 Encinitas, 43 in Poway, 46 El Cajon. This afternoon, upper 50s, around 60 degrees for downtown, 59 La Mesa, same with Chula Vista. So very similar to what we had yesterday. And now let's show you what's coming. So here's that low that's still continuing to bring snow up in the mountain ranges, but there's another low. So typically, when you see these lows come from the north, from Canada, the Gulf of Alaska, they're cold. Now what's going to happen is, unfortunately, this right here, this is an atmospheric river. This is forming further south and closer to the equator. It's considered tropical moisture. It's a warmer system. This low sweeps in with this, and it pulls all of that warmer rain, that warmer storm system right on to northern and central California. And you can see where it kind of stops right here. That's the California Bight. A lot of times these atmospheric rivers stay to the north of that, which is why we barely get any drops. But Thursday night, this will already be hitting the state hard. We're looking at snow levels as as high up as 8,000 feet. So everything below 8,000 feet in elevation, which would be a lot of this mountain region, that's all going to get rained on. So that unfortunately will lead to a significant amount of snow melt. Thursday night into Friday, that's when San Diego will get some of that. So mainly Friday into Saturday, I should say, for us, that's when it'll sweep through. You see the time stop, and that's Saturday morning. We could get a quarter to a half inch of rain from it. Here's a look now at your 8-day. Don't forget, we do spring forward on Sunday. 2 a.m. becomes 3 a.m. But we'll also notice that warm up, gradual warming happening. Next week, another atmospheric river. It's time now for your daily weather quiz question. 30 minutes or so. Looks pretty calm out there. Thankfully, no crashes, no stalled cars, just your typical backup, specifically from Chula Vista into National City on the 5. That's typically where we start to see a lot more volume. And coming up, kind of cool artwork across our skies this morning. Some mid-level, some low clouds as well. Let's take you right to our weather graphics, and you'll see temperatures 53 degrees. That's for downtown San Diego. So starting off fairly mild in the 40s. I know that's pretty cool for you, but this afternoon you'll get close to 60 degrees. We're watching for our next rainmaker, an atmospheric river coming to California. We'll get the tail end here Friday into Saturday. We spring forward at 2 a.m. on Sunday. Don't forget.
On board a flight Sunday where a man allegedly tried to stab a flight attendant and open an emergency door. This was all happening midair.
Yeah, imagine being on a flight like that. It's the latest in a string of pretty scary incidents on planes over the past few weeks. Jared Hill now with the latest. Now that the FAA is launching a review. It's considered atmospheric rivers, which are usually they form further south, closer to the equator, oftentimes called pineapple expresses because they form near Hawaii. And that means it's tropical moisture. It's warm. So the snow levels will be way, way, way high. Everything below the tops of our mountains will be rained on. For us in San Diego, we are, luckily at the southern tip of our state, so that allows us to get the very end of these systems. We get the withering away portions of a lot of these things. So for now, as you can see, very mild conditions across our skies. That's the marine layer. That's all we're noticing. And then a few mid to high level wispy clouds out. You to our satellite imagery. No rain in sight for the next several days here in town. Watching what's going on further north. This is a blast of cold air with this stubborn system that's still coming down, bringing in some snow. At least it's dying down a little bit, but the next system is one I'll show you in a moment. That will be a warmer one. 53 degrees for us in San Diego. We're starting off pretty comfortable here for downtown. 45 in Poway, 47 El Cajon. Inland valleys are a little bit cooler this morning, but we're on our way to about 60 degrees for most of San Diego today, so that's still below average. We're going to see the sun by around lunchtime. You'll notice the clouds kind of moving along. Some of you are already seeing plenty of sunshine here this morning. 59 in Imperial Beach today, 59 in Chula Vista, same with San Ysidro, a common theme as you see right there. Very similar to yesterday's weather. Sunshine around 60 degrees for most of the coast. For inland valleys, in the mountains, Palomar, you're even warmer there at 43. So we're warming up a little bit for the mountain communities. So if there is any snow left, a lot of that will likely be melting here today. Here's a look now at the next round that's headed to the state. So here's a low. This is forming way up north, bringing in that cold air and that moisture for the Pacific Northwest. But by Thursday, this all right here, that big green blob, looks like a river. That's why it's called an atmospheric river. A lot of moisture with this one. This low will sweep in that moisture right there into central and northern California. So look at all of that green that you see. So by Thursday afternoon, the rain will begin, and it's not going to let up through Thursday night. There we go. By Friday, you'll see it impacting San Diego. And as I mentioned, a lot of times these kind of break apart by the time they get to us. So that's good news for us here. We'll get a quarter to a half inch of rain. Rain levels are a lot higher up in central California. And there's more rain coming. Another atmospheric river for next week. That one looks like it'll get to us by Tuesday. You'll see in the 8-day, little breaks here and there, so enjoy the gradual warm up through Thursday before the rain arrives Friday night into Saturday. We spring forward on Sunday morning. Guys, just over the ocean though, it looks like just a few thin wispy clouds across San Diego. The airport, obviously that's the runway, does look nice. Blue conditions. We have the sun shining on us. Our afternoon highs are looking pretty good, near 60 degrees, so similar to what we've had the past several days. This morning, some 40s to go around along the coast, a little bit warmer in the low 50s. But here's where we're headed for today. Expect more sun throughout the afternoon, the upper 50s by around 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon for downtown. If you're in Miramar, 59, La Mesa, 59. Further in North County, also 59. So obviously a popular number for today. Things are going to change a little bit. We do have an atmospheric river coming to California. We'll get the tail end as it winds down. It'll impact us here Friday into Saturday. Passageways. All right, let's talk here about your forecast this morning. As you can see, the camera is spinning around and you'll see a little bit of marine layer cloud coverage over the San Diego Bay. Still a gorgeous start to your day with plenty of sunshine. And let's talk now about your temperatures, where we're going. We're staying below average for the next day or so before things will start to warm up gradually, and then we have rain coming. So if we can go to our weather. What's happening? As you'll notice, our satellite imagery showing things are clearing though. Any clouds that you woke up to moving on further south. There's still a storm system up in the northern California area bringing more snow for them. And then a lot of this is going to switch to rain by Thursday. So as we look from Mount Soledad towards downtown, it's 53 degrees. Downtown winds are calm. 50 in Poway, 42 Ramona, 49 in El Cajon. You're at 49 in La Mesa, 45 in Jamul. Over the next 12 hours, you're headed right there to about 58, 59 degrees. That's mainly for downtown San Diego. So expect a little bit of cloud coverage, mainly over the water. That's our marine layer. And then we will see the sun. So it should be a really nice Tuesday afternoon. 57 in Poway, 59 in Escondido. And here's that system that's bringing snow currently to the Tahoe region. It's going to move along, but then watch what happens. This right here is an atmospheric river. So all of this is going to dump rain to the north of the California Bight. So you see right there through central and northern California, that's where the heavy stuff is coming. Unfortunately, it's a warm system that's going to cause rain to come down onto all of the snow that we've seen further up north. So San Bernardino Mountains all the way to Tahoe, they're going to start to see heavy rainfall, which could lead to flooding. All of that snow will melt. So that's going to cause a lot of problems. Here in San Diego, we'll see about a quarter to a half inch of rain. We always get the tail end of these atmospheric rivers as they break apart. That's when it could bring us a little more rainfall. Saturday night into Sunday morning, don't forget we're springing forward. So 2 a.m. becomes 3 a.m. Another atmospheric river coming our way for next Tuesday. Here's a quick us, I think, here in our studios where we have all these women of craft beer here in San Diego here to celebrate the accomplishments of women. We're celebrating Women's History Month. Craft beer takes center stage this morning as we recognize the ladies who make their mark in this traditionally male-dominated industry. So this is awesome to see. I'm just so excited to talk to each and every one of you. So happy that you're all here. So let's start with Paige. Hi, Paige. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
First of all, how did you get, I mean, this is awesome to see so many ladies in San Diego's craft beer industry. Tell me about that. Why that's significant? Brewers Guild.
Yes.
And so obviously you're keeping tabs of all of this. It's evolved, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, and on our website, you can actually go and filter through our brewery.
And so it's so nice to see so many familiar faces here that are joining us. Let's get to all of these breweries. I know it's kind of odd to have a pregnant person talk about beer, but you all know I love the beer. I love the beer. Thank you. You hold it, you taste it. First of all, I'm going to go through every single one and ask your name, your brewery, and the beer you brought. Yep. And then tell me what makes your brewery stand out. So tell me your name and your brewery.
I'm with Second Chance Beer. My name.
What a feature here on our show.
Yeah.
Fistful of Gummies. It sounds like a really fun one.
Yeah.
So kind of sour.
Yeah, so this is actually Fistful of Gummies Berry Edition. So it's like if you were to pull the red and the blue berries out of Sour Patch Kids, that's what you're tasting here. So it's kind of a spin-off of our core beer, Fistful of Gummies.
Amazing. All right, thank you very much. Okay, now tell me your name and your brewery.
My name's a whole nother level. So we think people who are new to craft beer are going to like it, and also and put it out to the market and see what people think.
All right, thank you very much. And now we have Bagby. Hello, hello. Good to see you too. I know I frequent your breweries back when I could. Tell me your name and your brewery.
Yes, my name is Dandy Bagby.
People of all ages go to your breweries and can take part in all these things.
That's right. We love that.
So good to see you. Thank you. Okay, tell me your name and your brewery. Hello.
Jamie, I'm out at McElhenney Brewing.
Hi.
Out like 20, 30 minutes from most of us. It's not that far. You sit longer on the 5 just going from one exit to another. So come out to Alpine.
Enjoy the nature and have McElhenney beer. Thank you so much. All right. And then Mujeres Brewhouse. Carmen, hello. Good morning.
Hi, Thompson. I'm with Dogleg Brewing Company.
Very nice. And people can practice their swing at your brewery, which is really fun.
Yes, yes. We have a golf simulator and a putting green.
Yes, I love it.
Again, like same, we're trying to be very inclusive of, anyone can try golf and play golf. And
okay, what'd you bring, Estella?
So I brought you
go today, and temperatures will be about 60 degrees. What we've had the past several days here. Pretty mild weather for this week until Friday, Saturday, when our next chance of rain will arrive. Over the next 12 hours, we're going right there to about 58, 59 degrees for this afternoon. That's for downtown, 57 in Poway, 59 in Escondido, 59 degrees in Vista. So the next rainmaker, it's going to be a pretty significant one for Central California. For us, it will wind down. It's expected to arrive Friday, Saturday. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody.